Prasthaya Bhutale Rupanuga Cha Vipamurti Narayana Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Papanebhyo Vaishnava Devyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my sincere Bandhav pranams under the lotus feet of our most worshipful Srila Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Old Vishnupad, Shishyaman Bhakti-Vedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Garupanuga Guru Varga, and all some Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas. So again, unfortunately, those have not come. So again, just bear with me. Yesterday I was telling that today is Bhakta Swami's disappearance. Because I was thinking yesterday was 7, and so therefore today 8. But actually today is 7, and 8 is tomorrow. So the disappearance festival of Srila Bhakta Swami is tomorrow. Although, Panchami, already Panchami today. But we know, whatever tithi on the Brahma Muhurta, that is the tithi of the day. So by Surya Siddhanta, we follow the Surya Siddhanta. Our tithis are computed according to Surya Siddhanta. So by Surya Siddhanta, the Panchami started 7 o'clock this morning. So Brahma Muhurta time was still Chaturthi, the fourth moon. Therefore, although today, the rest of the day is Panchami, we're not observing the disappearance of Bhakta Swami. It's tomorrow. Brahma Muhurta time, it's actually up to like even 5 o'clock in the morning, like Panchami. Now, in the other calendar, this is the Triksiddhanta. The Panchami starts 3 o'clock this morning. So that's the Brahma Muhurta time. That's why in some calendar, like ISKCON calendar and others, it's today, because they're following the Triksiddhanta. Anyway, so today I was thinking we can read some verses from Hari-bhakti-vilasa. In Hari-bhakti-vilasa, there's a, Hari-bhakti-vilasa, this was compiled by who? Sanatana Goswami, and of course with the help of Bhakta Goswami. And he's not even putting his name there. He's putting Bhakta Goswami. And we know for what reason. He also feeling that, like, why would, imagine that when you're making a book, and then people will say like, oh, this one, he worked with some Muslim, before, like that, And then, like, no. So he's not putting his name there. And he's putting Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Gopal Bhatta Goswami is coming from South India, like high-class Brahmin family, like this. So anyway, in Hari-bhakti-vilasa, then all these references for many like rules and regulations that the devotees are following is all available there. Starting from, like doing archan and how to take care of deities, and all the way to the different vratas. So, it's a very big book. In the 14th vilas, I don't know exactly how many vilas all together in the Hari-bhakti-vilasa. Their chapters are like classified into vilas. So, in the 14th vilas, it all starts with all the different ekadasis. Then the 15th, it describes actually like the different vratas, and there Chaturmasya vrata is there. So we can read some of them. It's good to have like direct, information, like what exactly the scriptures say about Chaturmasya and the different groups in terms of Chaturmasya. So I'll start with text 114. This is in the 15th vilas. Atha tatro pakrama kaalaha, the time for beginning Chaturmasya. So this verse was actually spoken by Sanat Kumar. So it says Sanat Kumarena Ekadasyantu Grihiniyat Samkranto Kartatasyato Asadyam Bandharo Bhaktya Chaturmasyo Ditam Radam. He's saying here, one should devotedly begin to follow the vow of Chaturmasya, either from Shayan Ekadasi or from the day when the sun enters Karkata Rasi, or on the full moon day in the month of Ashad. So generally we follow, like us, we follow full moon day, month of Ashad. This Guru Purnima day. But here it is giving this three events, that can one perform beginning of Chaturmasya Vrata. One is Sayan Ekadasi, or when the sun enters Karkata Rasi, or the full moon day of month of Ashad. Then, text 115, it says, Atha Tatra Mantraha, the mantra for commencing the vow. So he said, you start this vrata with chanting of one mantra. It's not just like, okay, follow vrata. So what is the mantra? It said, Chaturo Varsikan Maasan Devasya Udapanavadhi Imam Karisye Niyamam Nirvignam Kuru Miyachyuta. O Lord Achyuta, I will observe all the prescribed rules and regulations of Chaturmasya, beginning from Sayan Ekadasi up to the Udhana Ekadasi. Please be merciful and let my vow be completed without any impediments. So ideally, those who really want to follow properly the rules, then they should chant that mantra when they begin Ekadasi. So Hari-bhakti-vilasa begin that mantra. Then text 116. He said, Atha Chaturmasya Niyam Avasyakata, the need for observing the prescribed rules of Chaturmasya. So this is from the Bhavishya Puran. It said, Yo bina niyamam martyo vratam va japyamivo va Chaturmasyam nayen murkho jivanapi mrito isaha. One who observes the vow of Chaturmasya without following the prescribed rules and regulations and vows, and without chanting the prescribed mantras, is certainly a fool. He is to be considered a dead man although breathing. But this is long, so I have to make it quicker, no? Otherwise we'll not finish this. So text 117. Rules for observing Chaturmasya. So this is from Nagar Kanda of the Skanda Puran. It says, Shravane Vaja Yechchakam Tadhi Bhadra Pade Tatha Dugdham Aswayuje Mahasi Kartike Chamisham Yaje. One should avoid spinach in the month of Shravan. This month, Shravan, no? That's it. Yogurt in the month of Bhadra. That's next month. Milk in the month of Ashwin. And Urad Dal in the month of Kartik. So this is from Skanda Puran. Text 118. This is from conversation between Brahma and Narad. This is found also in Skanda Puran. It says, Nispavan Rajamasam cha Shukte Devi Janardane Yo Bhakshayati Viprinda Swapachar Adiko Isaha. O foremost Brahman, when the Lord of the universe goes to sleep, if one eats kidney beans and other beans, he should be considered lower than a dog eater. So, in a way, now take note, all these verses were collected by our Goswamis, by Sanatana Goswami, to show, okay, these are the rules. So they just collected it. So now we can understand, okay, so this is the rule. We don't take beans. Otherwise, what the Shastra says, you're eating all these beans during Chaturmasya time, then you're actually considered lower than a Chandal. What else? It said, Karmiketu Visheshena Rajama Samscha Bhakshayam Nispavan Munishata Dribula Yavanuta Naraki. O sage, especially in the month of Kartik, if a person eats kidney beans or other kinds of beans, he will reside in hell until the time of the annihilation of the universe. Text 120. Kalingani patulani ventakam salitani cha etani baksaye yastu sukte devi janardane sapta jamar jitam punyam harite natra samsaya. There is no doubt that if a person eats, take note, there's no doubt that if a person eats watermelon, patola, eggplant, or pickle during the period when Janardana sleeps, he will lose all the pious merit that he accumulated in his previous 7 lifetimes. Okay, so here these are just telling about what is prohibited, no? That's why all these things, we're not eating eggplant and others. So he says, you lose all the pious merits you accumulated in 7 lifetimes. Text 121. Kincha, also meaning it's also said, Ruchcham tata kala labhyam pala muladi varjayet. One should also give up eating one's favorite fruit and roots that grow during this season. So it's actually not just, okay, some things are prohibited. So part of the vrata is to give up your favorite fruits and roots, which comes in this season. It says like that. So if you like mangoes and mango season, then part of the vrata is to do that. Then text 1 to 2. Kincha, it is further said, Japa homadi anushtanam namasham kritnan tataha swikritya prataye devam vihita niyamo buddha. Said, a learned devotee who observes the vow of Chaturmasya should chant appropriate mantras, perform sacrifice, and engage in congregational chanting of the Lord's holy names. For successful completion of the vow, one should pray to the Lord as follows. So then that goes in the next verse. Idam bratam maya deva gritam puratashtava nirvitmam siddham ayatu prasadat tava Keshava. So he said, O Lord Keshava, I hereby take this vow in front of you that I will observe the prescribed rules and regulations of Chaturmasya that are found in the scriptures. By your mercy, may this vow be completed without any impediment. Text 1 to 4. Gritesmin vrate deva panchatvam yadi va bhavet tada bhavatu sampurnam prasadate janardana. O Lord Janardan, if in the course of observing the vow of Chaturmasya, I relinquish my material body, let my vow still be completed by your mercy. So that's how the term is. Like, even my body dies, my vow should continue. He prayed like that. So now we go to the next section, text 25. Atha Chaturmasya Vrata Niyam Mahatmyam, the glories of the vow of Chaturmasya. So this is conversation between Brahma and Narad found in Vishnu Rahasya. Shrinu Narada Karsnyena Chaturmasya Vrata Kriya Ya Nirvartyo Naro Bhaktya Prayati Paramam Gatim. Said, "Oh Narad, now hear with attention as I describe the Chaturmasya Vrata in detail. By faithfully observing this vow, one can attain the supreme destination, which is the Lord's abode in the spiritual sky." Text 126. Vratani Vaishnavaniha Manasyapi Chipishtata Narasya Kshayam Apnoti Papam Janma Shato Bhavam. Simply by contemplating the Vaishnava vows that have manifested in this world, one's sinful reactions that had accumulated during his previous 100 lifetimes are destroyed. You get that? You're not even following the Vrata yet. So just by contemplating and thinking about the vows of the Vaishnavas that has been manifested in this world. He said, the reactions of all your sinful activities in 100 lifetimes is destroyed. Then, Eka Bhakto Nara Santo Nityas Nyayi Vidha Vrata Yoj Chayesh Chaturu Masan Harim Shatisya Lokabha. One who worships Lord Hari during the 4 months of Chaturmasya while eating only once a day, remaining peaceful in mind, bathing daily, and maintaining firm determination will ascend to the abode of the Lord. Okay, so this is like standard. This is like if you want to see the standard rules. So this is in Hari-bhakti-vilasa. It says worshipping Lord Hari, eating only once a day, maintaining peaceful mind, bathing daily, and maintaining firm determination. How difficult is that? How difficult is that? Bathing daily. You already bathe every day. You can bathe every day. But for some people, that's already very difficult. Remaining peaceful in mind. Maybe most difficult here is eating once a day. But of course, like worshipping Hari. If you're doing that, then said, you will ascend to the abode of the Lord. Okay, text 128. Yastu Sukte Rishikeshe Kshite Shahi Bhavinaraha Varsikan Chaturumasan Labhade Vaishnavim Gatim. One who sleeps on the floor during the 4 months when Lord Rishikesh remains asleep attains the transcendental abode of Lord Krishna. So this is like one reference from another rule that devotees follow. That during Chaturmasya, they only sleep on the floor. Even Mahaprabhu sleeps on the floor only. Text 129. Yasto Keshavam Udisya Chandrayan Parayanaha Chaturmasyam Nayet Bhaktya Savishnum Tanam Abhishek. One who faithfully observes the vow of Chaturmasya and Chandrayan just to please Lord Keshav will attain the liberation of merging into the body of Lord Vishnu. You want this? This is the report of Brahma bodies. Text 113. In a conversation between the Supreme Lord and King Yudhisthira that is found in the Bhavishyata Purana, it is stated, Chaturu Varshikan Masan Devasya Utapan Navadhi Striva Radova Mad Bhakto Dharmartam Sudli Havrataha Griniyam Nyamanitam Dante Dhavana Purvakam. My devotee, whether a man or a woman, should firmly observe all these rules and regulations that are meant for spiritual advancement during the 4 months until the Supreme Lord wakes up from his mystic slumber. One should begin his vow in the morning after brushing his teeth. Tesam falani bhakshami tata pritnam prita prita. I will separately describe the benefits one obtains by following all these rules and regulations. Okay, now, somehow already the rules have been described. Not so many rules, but now he's telling what are the benefits. Text 132 to 134. Madhura swara sampano bhavel lavana varjanan bhavate santatmam dirgham tailasya parivarjanat abhyanga varjanat parta sundaranga prajayate pakshvataila parityajak Chaturmasya abhapnayat Madhuka taila tyagena saubhagyam atulam bhave pushpoka bhogatyagena swarge vidyadharo bhave. During Chaturmasya, one who renounces salt, during Chaturmasya, one who renounces salt will receive a sweet melodious voice. What is that? If you want melodious voice. Now, okay, take note, because many people, they have this fruitive mentality. Then that's why Vedas is like that. You know, like especially for karmis, those with karmi adhikar. Before doing anything, they want to make sure, like, okay, I want good results. So okay, then all these things are good. But we know these are only like secondary benefits, really. The main benefit when you follow Chaturmasya is that you go to Bhagavan, you have bhakti, or like you bring bhakti will increase. But okay, here it said you want melodious voice, you want a very nice voice. Okay, you renounce salt during this 4 months of Chaturmasya. One who renounces oil will receive good children, having long lives. That's very easy. You want to have good children, so just don't use oil. Renounce oil, use Chaturmasya. One who renounces oil massages will receive a beautiful body. One who renounces eating food cooked in oil will conquer his enemy. So now you have enemies. You want to conquer your enemy, then just eat food not cooked in oil for this Chaturmasya. One who renounces licorice will attain unlimited good fortune. And one who renounces the enjoyment of flowers will become a Vidyadhara in the heavenly planets. Text 135, 136. Maybe we just quickly read this. Yuga vyasi bhave jastu sa brahma padam apayat katu amla tikta madhuda shara kasaya najan rasam. Yo bhaja jayat sa Vorubhyam Vaigandhyam Nakmuyat Kwache Tambula Bhajanat Bhogi Apak Vado Malo Bhave. One who practices yoga will attain the supreme abode of the Lord. One who renounces the 6 kinds of palatable food will never become ugly. 6 kinds of palatable food. Anyone knows? I don't know what this is. If they renounce the 6 kinds of palatable food, there are six tastes, no? Yeah? Salty, sweet, bitter, pungent. There's 6. Maharaj, you know? 6. So he said, if they renounce the 6 kinds of palatable food, they will never become ugly, and he will become free from bad odor. No need deodorant. By renouncing the chewing of betel nuts, one is blessed with material enjoyment, and who eats uncooked food is purified. Text 137, 139. Padabhyanga shirabhyanga parityagacha pattiva tiptiman ditarcharano madhu kshodri parityaje gadi dubdha takramyamad golokam labate naraha indraditham ayati snali paga vivarjana labecha sambatim dirgham tapa Pakmasya varjanat bhumo prastara sayecha vishnur anucharo bhave. By avoiding oil massages of the legs and head, one will become a king. By renouncing honey and other sweets, one become brilliant. By renouncing yogurt, milk and buttermilk, one will attain golok. By renouncing eating on a plate, one will become a guest in the abode of Indra. By renouncing cooked food, one will receive children having long lives. And by sleeping on the floor or on stone, one will become a servant of Lord Vishnu. Okay. Sadamuni Sadayogi Madhu Mamasya Varjanat Nirbad Yuni Rugosya Vi Sodomadya Vivarjanat Ekantar Pavasena Brahmaloki Mahi Ate Dharanan Nakalo Manam Ganga Snanam Dini Dine Mona Vrati Bhaved Yastu Tasyadya Askalita Bhaved Bhumo Mukti Sadayastu Sampritilya Vatir Bhaved. Said one who renounces honey and meat Now take note, these scriptures is for everyone. So that includes all the meat eaters and low-caste people. That's why it's including all these regulations. You know. So one who renounces honey and meat, who remains like an introspective sage or yogi, and who renounces wine, will become free from disease and thus remain healthy. One who observes fasting every alternative day will attain Brahmalok. By not shaving one's head and face and not cutting one's nails, one obtains the pious merit of bathing in the Ganges. When one observes complete silence, his words will become infallible, and one who eats off the floor will become a king of earth. Next. Namo Narayano Yeki Japve Danam Satam Palam Padabji Vandanat Vishnu Bhave Kuda Najam Palam Vishnu Padam Bhujas Parshat Krita Krityo Bhave Naraha Vishnu Devalaya Kuryat Upal Pena Marjane Kalpashtai Bhavet Raja Sanaro Natra Samsaya. One who chants the mantra Namo Narayanaya will receive the merit of donating 100 things in charity. By offering obeisance to Lord Vishnu, one receives the merit of giving a cow in charity. And by touching the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, one will become fully satisfied. There is no doubt that simply by cleansing the temple of Lord Vishnu, one will become a king for a duration of 1 kalpa. Pradikshanisnatrayam vitva yastu syat Stuti pataka ham sayukta vinanena sacha vishnam padam braje. One who circumambulates the deities 3 times and offer prayers will ascend to the abode of Lord Vishnu on a chariot drawn by swans. Gita Vadyo Karo Vishnu Gandharva Lokam Apnuyat Nityam Shastra Vinodena Lokan Yastu Prabodhahit Sa Vyasa Rupi Bhagavan Ante Vishnupuram Braje. Those who sing and play musical instruments will attain the planet of the Gandharvas. One who distributes knowledge by daily reciting the Shastra must be considered a representative of Vyasadeva, and at the end, he will attain the abode of Lord Vishnu. They were taught this is all about this participant of Chaturmasya. Anyone doing this, these are all the results. Pushpamala Kulam Pujam Kritva Vishnu Puram Braje. By worshipping the Supreme Lord during Chaturmasya with an offering of a flower garland, one will be transferred to the abode of Lord Vishnu. Kritva Prokshanikam Divyam Stanam Apsarasam Lavet Tirtadishu Pitastano Nirmalam Deha Apnaya. One who washes the Lord's temple with water will attain the planet of the Apsaras. One who bathes in a holy place will receive a purified body. Panchagavya Chanat Parta Chandrayana Phalam Labhet Eka Bhakta Sanamyaryam Agnihotra Phalam Labhet. O Partha, one who drinks the Lord's Charanamrita obtains the merit of performing Chandrayana Vrata. You know this Chandrayana Vrata? Prabhupada even was doing this when Krishna's Maharaj not accepting him, not giving him Diksha. Then he was determined, I will do this Chandrayana Vrata until he will accept me. And he became very skinny. Because on Chandrayana Vrata, the main is like fasting, but the main thing there is like according to the face of the moon, then that's how much, you know, like how much like spoonful you take. Like that. So one who eats only once a day receives the merit of performing an Agnihotra Yajna. So those doing Karma Kanda, they have all these different kinds of Yajna. No? Agnihotra, there's the Rajasuya and all others. So those eating once a day, that's equivalent to performing Agnihotra Yajna. Text 151. Nakta Boji Samas Rastu Nirtirta Yatra Palam Lole Aya Chetena Chandoti Vapi Kupa Prapa Palam. Those who eat only at night during these 4 months will attain the merit of traveling to all the holy places of pilgrimage. Those who maintain themselves without begging will receive the merit of digging a pond or a well or donating water. Shasta kalo na bujiya sthayi swarge naro bhave nitya snayi naro yastu nagatam sanapasati bhajanam varjayet yastu sasnanam pushkaram labhe patreshu yu naro bhunte kurukshetra phalam labhe shilayan bhojanam nityam bhavet snanam prayagajam yama vajja jala tyagam gai paribhuyate evam madhivratai parta tushtim ayati tushita. One who eats rice at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What does it mean? It means you don't eat before that. So he only eat rice 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Will become a permanent resident of heaven. You want? It's Swarga. Those who take bath every day will never experience hellish life. One who eats from his hands rather than from a plate will receive a merit of bathing at Pushkar. One who eats from a leaf plate receives the fruit of going to Kurukshetra. One who eats from a marble plate receives the benefit of bathing at Prayag. One who does not drink water for 6 hours will remain without disease. O Partha, by observing all these vows, Lord Vishnu become pleased. Kincha, it is further said, Yoga nidram samalambya, sheshahi shayane swapan, shiroda goya vishakrai dota pada samahita, Lakshmi karam bhuja is Lakshman, vil yamana pada vaja, tasmin kale chamad bhakto, yoma sang shadura kshipat. Vratar anekar niyamai panda vash rishta manava, talpastai vishnaloki bhavina nastyatra samsaya. When I take shelter of Yoga Nidra while lying in the bed of Ananta Shesh in the ocean of milk, Lakshmi Devi, whose feet are washed by the waves of that ocean, gently massages my lotus feet as I remain in complete samadhi. During that time, my devotees who have observed various vows for 4 months will reside in the abode of Lord Vishnu for 1 kalpa. O foremost Bandhavas, there is no doubt of this. Satyam brata samaktavucha Shri Krishnasya prasadata yadyadana ikriyamcha lekyam tatacha kartike. The duty of giving various articles in charity at the completion of the vow of Chaturmasya by Krishna's mercy will be described at the end of the section dealing with the Kartik Vrata. Stutvatha Krishnam avyarcha prasadya cha puna puna saisham sankhoda kirti cha Swikurya Vaishnavai Saha. After pleasing Lord Vishnu by offering prayers and worship again and again, one should partake of the water that washed the Lord's lotus feet, which was kept in a conch shell in association of the Vaishnavas. Gita Nityadina Devam Paritoshyatha Vaishnavam Sampuja Narayana Devam Swalayam Anahe. After satisfying the Lord by singing, dancing, and playing musical instruments, and after serving the Vaishnavas with great respect, one should bring the Lord to his temple on a palanquin carried by men. Prabhur nirajanam kritva visarjayam vata Vaishnavan neveshya swasane devam sayet albunitam smaran. Thereafter, one should offer arati to the Lord and bid farewell to the assembled Vaishnavas. Then one should place the Lord on his throne and lie down on the floor while constantly remembering him. Evancha kurvato masam chaturo yanti vaisukam anyatha prabhavet dukkam anavitischa jayate. By observing the vow of Chaturmasya in this way, one will become very happy. Otherwise, if one fails to observe this vow, there will be an increase in his suffering and he will certainly experience drought. Tatha cha bhavishya. In the Bhavishya Puran also it is stated, Mithunaste sahasram sho nasvapasyati yo harim Vaishnavai sahasambhuya yana vishtis tada bhavet. If one does not observe the vow of putting Lord Hari to sleep in the month of Ashad, in the association of devotees, he will certainly become victim of a natural calamity, most surely a drought. Kincha Bhavishyata, also in Bhavishyata Puran, says, Yo Deva Sayanam Bhartam Ano Mudya Samachare Uttanam Bhavi Krishnasya Saharim Lokam Apnuyam. O Partha, one who approves of and performs the rituals of putting Lord Krishna to rest, as well as the vow of waking him up, will attain the eternal abode of Lord Hari. So now, Atha Shravan Krityam. What to do in the month of Shravan? So this is now in this section. We are now in the month of Shravan. So it says Gotamiye. This is from the Gotamiya Tantra. Shravani Masi Krishnam Tam. Pushpai Ketava Sambhavai Chandra Chandana Kasturi Kumkumadi Subhashitai Ela Lavanga Kavola Palani Baru Arpaye. In the month of Shravan, one should worship Lord Krishna with offerings of camphor, sandalwood paste, musk, kumkum, and jasmine flowers. One should also offer him varieties of fruit as well as cardamom, cloves, and other spices. Pavitra ropanam kurya dwadasyam vishitarpanam purnamasyanto purnida tatad ukta vidhanada. One should perform the ritual of Pavitropana on the 12th day of the fourth night of the waxing moon and offer oblations to the sages on the full moon day. So this is actually recommended, and is one of the things in Shravan. This Pavitra, and we know on Ekadasi, the Ekadasi for the coming full moon is called Pavitra Ropani Ekadasi. So the Dwadasi of that is the time that is recommended here. Do you perform this ritual, Pavitra Ropana? And he said, so you do that Pavitra Ropana on the Dwadasi, and on the full moon you offer oblations to the sadhus. Srila Rupa Goswami and also Puja Gordas Pandit, they disappeared on this day, Pavitra Ropani, Dwadasi. So now on the discussion of Pavitra Ropana, text 168. Atha Pavitra Ropanam Shravanasya Side Pakshe Dwadasyam Vaishnave Muda Kartavya Krishna Devasya Pavitra Ropana Utsava. On the 12th day of the fourth night of the waxing moon in the month of Shravan, in the association of devotees, one should joyfully celebrate the festival of Pavitra Ropana for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. This is one festival just after Ekadasi. So this is the same day our Rupa Goswami disappeared. We already do a festival on that day. So Adha Tanit Tiyata. This function is eternal. Bhavriksha Parishishte. So this is according to the Bhavriksha Parishishta. Sasnata Sabatirteshu Sarva Vyageshu Dikshita Harischa Vitin Apnoti Ya Pavitram Samachare. One who celebrates the festival of Pavitra Ropana while following all the prescribed rules and regulations is supposed to have already bathed in all holy places of pilgrimage and already performed all kinds of sacrifices. Lord Hari becomes pleased with such a person. Vidina Shastra Vishtena Yona Kuriyat Pavitrakam Haranti Rakshasasya Varsha Pujatikam Phalam. One who does not celebrate this festival by properly following all the rules and regulations, then all the pious merit he accumulated during the previous year is taken away by the demons. Text 171. Yoga Sari Pavitro Patyopakhyane Nagaraj Pavitram Prati Rudraina Bharatvadanam. In the story of the appearance of Pavitra, that is narrated in the Yoga Sara Stotra, Rudra spoke this verse to Pavitra after he had assumed the form of the king of the Nagas. Ye tvam na bahu manyante yatha sambhavita maya japa homadika desham phalam tvametu nishchaya. O Pavitra, king of the Nagas, because I have accepted you as my sacred thread, if anyone does not offer you respect, all the fruit of his chanting mantras, performing sacrifice, and offering worship will go to you. So really what happens on Pavitra Rumana Day festival is that on that time we offer a Brahman thread to Krishna, or to the deities. I think it will be described here more. But yeah, there's a story actually. There's one king, Pavitra, king of the snakes, the Nagas. Who said this? This is Rudra who spoke this. He said, because I have accepted you as my sacred thread. So he is now a sacred thread of Rudra. Then he said, anyone who does not respect you, then all the fruit of their chanting, their performings of yajna, and all their worship, they will go to Pavitra. They will not get. Vishnu Rahasya. In the Vishnu Rahasya, it also stated, Na karoti vidhanena pavitra ropanantuya tasya samvatsari puja nispala munishatama. O foremost sage, one who does not celebrate the festival of Pavitra Ropana as enjoined in the scriptures, then all his worship performed during the forthcoming year will be useless. Tasmad bhakti samayuktair nagar Vishnu parayanai varsi varsi tu kartavyam Pavitra Ropanam hare. Therefore, devotees of Lord Vishnu should faithfully observe the festival of Pavitra Ropana for the pleasure of Lord Hari, year after year. So, Atha Pavitra Ropana Mahatmya. So now, discussion of the glories of Pavitra Ropana Vrata. Tatha Bodhayanaha. Sage Bodhayana said, Yavat Sutram Pavitrasya Tavat Swarge Mahiyate Ayur Arogyam Aishwaryam Vipulam Tasya Vardate. One who celebrates this festival of Pavitra Ropana will be worshipped in heaven for as many years as there are threads in the Pavitra. His lifespan, health, and opulence will become greatly enhanced. In Mahasamhita, it is stated, Samvatsarena ya puja kritta vai mantrina vija pavitra dhanat purnasya idyaha bhagavan hari. O twice born sage, the benefit one attains by offering worship for 1 year while chanting the appropriate mantras can be obtained simply by offering pavitra threads to the Lord. This has been stated by Lord Hari himself. So, what does it say? 1 year of worship and chanting of mantras that can be obtained simply by just offering thread on this day to the Lord. Vishnu Rahasya. In the Vishnu Rahasya it is said, Pavitra Ropanam Vishnur Bhukti Mukti Pradayakam Skripum Kirti Pradam Punyam Sukha Sampad Dhanabha. The festival of Pavitra Ropana, Lord Vishnu, awards one material enjoyment, liberation, a good wife, fame, unadulterated happiness, wealth, and other assets. So, there you go. People who want good wife, they want fame, they want unadulterated happiness, they want wealth, or material enjoyment and liberation. This festival of Pavitra Ropana will give award. But of course, we're not interested in this, no? Yeah, we want rain. Punya nantu tatha punyam sarva papa haram kuvai Pavitra Ropanam tasmat pavitram paramam smritam. It is most pious among all pious activities. It takes away all of one's sinful reactions. Therefore, the vow of Pavitra Ropana is supremely sanctified. Sambastarena yo bhakti samavyarcha janardhanam yad phalam samabhaknoti Pavitra Ropanena tad. The same benefit one receives by faithfully worshipping Lord Janardhan for 1 year can be attained simply by observing the vow of Pavitra Ropana. Kincha, it's also said, Bhavayat inaso nityam trayate bhagavantanat pavitram tena vidyatam pranam tejo vidhiyate. This vow instantly purifies one who has performed all types of sinful activities. It delivers one from the bondage of material existence. That is why it is known as Pavitra, or the purifier. It is famous as the powerful agent of the Supreme Lord. So, take note, this Pavitra Ropana begins with following the Pavitra Ropana Ekadasi. So, that's, you do Pavitra Ropana Ekadasi, and then on the Dwadasi you perform festival. So, this is like very purifying. Vishnu Vaktya Yato Vikyatam Tadaloki Vidhiyate Saneva Sutra Rupena Yagesha Karmanam Prabhu. O garland of forest flower, a garland of forest flowers is known as Pavitra, or a sacred thread in the abode of Lord Vishnu. The sacred thread is a form of Lord Vishnu, the Lord of all pious activities. Tadeva Trigonish Sutram Tatam Narayana Akyaya Tridevatma Trivedatma Triyamsata Pranavasmita. Lord Vishnu himself is the 3 strands of sacred thread known as Narayan. Therefore, the sacred thread is the form of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, as well as the Rik, Shama, and Yajur Vedas. It is also the form of Om. So here is giving the meaning of the sacred thread. Tatra Budayana Ukta Pavitra Rupani Vidhi Samado Virusham Krishna Archane Yutra Savikyate. In this book, we are writing about the rules and regulations for worshipping Lord Krishna and about the Pavitra Ropana Vrata, as explained by the great sage Budhaya, and which is approved by all learned persons. So, now the process for observing Pavitra Ropana Vrata. So, Varni Rajatai Stamrai Kshamai Sutastu Padnikai Karpasair Va Pavitrani Ishyanti Keshai. The sacred thread for Lord Krishna should be made of gold, silver, copper, silk, or cotton. Okay, it's not like all of them, but you can choose. It can be made of gold, it can be made of silver, it can be made of copper, silk, or cotton. In the absence of these, one may use a thread made of kusha grass or reeds. Tatra karpashikam sutram brahmani kartitam shubham aniyati guna kritya punas traygunayet suchi. First of all, one should collect some pure and auspicious cotton thread that was made by Brahmins. And then one should prepare a sacred thread for the Supreme Lord with 6 strands of that thread. Panchagavyena tat proksha prakshalya suchinam guna mulaina asturasatam mantrena tadhi mantrayet. The sacred thread should then be purified with the 5 kinds of cow products, Panchagavya, and washed in the water of the Ganges. Thereafter, it should be further purified by chanting the Mool Mantra 108 times. Trinisat Sasta Sastinasya Taryadinasya Chardata Janu Udunabhi Darghani Pavitra Charet Prabhu. One should make 3 sacred threads for the Lord. The first one should consist of 108 strands of thread and should hang to the Lord's knees. The second one should consist of 54 strands of thread and it should hang to the Lord's thighs. The third one should consist of 27 strands of thread and it should hang to the Lord's navel. So you can take note of this reference if you want to do this. This will be in the second half actually of this month of Shravan. So in this year, this is after Purushottam. because this month will be divided by Purushottamas. Shaktisat Gatayos Taisham Adye Karyastu Madhyame Chaturvayi Shatir Antecha Dwadasa Gatayo Budaya. In the first sacred thread, there should be 36 knots. In the second one, there should be 24 knots, and in the third one, there should be 12 knots. The sacred thread should be prepared in this way by experienced persons. Angushta Parvat Mattantu Kuryat Grantham Atutame Tadartam Madhyame Kuryat Tadadancha Kanoyasi. In the first sacred thread, each knot should be tied 1 inch from the next. In the second one, each knot should be tied 1/2 inch from the next. And in the third one, each knot should be tied 1/4 inch from the next. Ratam Karvida Sarvatra Suvitam Samanharam Navai Vishama Samyakam Ratam Kurvita Kurvache. All the knots of the sacred thread should be round and beautiful. They should never be uneven or odd in number. Astotara Sahasrena Tatu Shatrasya Pavitrakam Astotara Satagranti Varna Mahalakyam Achare. When a sacred thread is composed of 1008 strands of thread and one has 108 knots, it is called Vanamala. Aravya Muktam Yatu Sutraya Virachita Shubha Apada Lambini Mala Vanamala Parikirita. Vanamala refers to a sacred garland that is made of sacred threads and which hangs from the crown to the lotus feet. Kuryat Ganda Pavitrancha Shutrai Vadasadhi Subhai Arat Arami Pramitam Tacha Vadasak Grantamam Kuti. Learned person should make a sacred thread with 12 strands of pure thread. It should have 12 knots and should be about 15 inches long. Such a sacred thread is called Ganda Pavitra, the second one. Time is finished. I'm just going to read the translation and it's quicker. He's saying here, the sacred thread for the Lord's associates, such as the demigod, should be made of either 27 strands of pure thread, 16 strands of thread, or 12 strands of thread. The knots should be tied very nicely. The sacred thread of Agni should be made with 27 strands of thread. And the sacred thread of the spiritual master should be made with 26 strands of thread. The sacred thread for Vaishnavas should be prepared as nicely as possible. One should take great care to make the sacred thread appear beautiful. By preparing and distributing sacred threads that were negligently made and thus do not appear beautiful, both the maker and the giver achieve inauspicious results. So you make your sacred thread, right? So therefore, one should always make beautiful and sacred threads as an act of devotion. The sacred thread can be dyed with kumkum, aguru, gorokchan, or other substances. These sacred threads should be covered with cloth and kept in a bamboo box, so that the sacred thread can be offered to Lord Krishna. One should make it on Dasami and then stay awake all night, as previously described, after offering prayers to Lord Krishna. On this particular Ekadasi, one should first complete his daily duties and then cleanse the temple of the Lord. Thereafter, one should decorate the temple with auspicious drawings. After completing the daily worship of Lord Krishna, one should again offer special worship to the Lord to perform the vow of Bhakta-ropana. After completing this ritual, one should pray to Lord Krishna in the following manner. O my Lord, for your pleasure and so that I can receive without difficulty the fruit of my worship performed throughout the upcoming year, I celebrate this festival of Bhakta-ropana according to the rules and regulations laid down by you. O Supreme Lord, please be merciful to me so that I may not meet with any impediment in this endeavor. O Lord Vishnu, you are my only shelter in all respects at all times. One should collect these articles and place them in this order before the Lord. These are small twig for brushing the teeth, water, kusha grass, clay, turmeric, kumkum, gorokchan, shoes, white umbrella, a chamar, fan, barley, rice paddy, and uncooked rice. So all this you offer in front of Krishna. After filling the pitcher with water, one should place them on top of the auspicious drawings that were made on the floor in front of the Lord. Thereafter, one should invoke and then purify the sacred threads. First, the bamboo box that contains the sacred threads should be brought and placed before the Lord. Then, during the puja, an experienced devotee should invoke the sacred threads by chanting the Mool mantra. Om Samvat Sarasya Yogasya Pavitra Karanaya Bhu Vishnu Lokat Pavitradya Agha Jeha Namushtute. O sacred thread, please appear here today from the abode of Lord Vishnu, just to purify my annual worship of the Supreme Lord. I offer obeisances unto you. Thereafter, one should invite the Lord's associates, such as Brahma, by chanting the appropriate mantra, and have them seated in proper places. Thereafter, they should be offered rice paddy, sandalwood paste, flowers, incense, agilan, food, and bekonats. The names of the predominating deities of the three threads are Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahadev. And the names of the predominating deities of the 9 threads are Om, Vayu, Agni, Brahma, Naga, Chandra, Surya, Shiva, and Vishwadev. Next, one should invoke the predominating deities of the 10 nuts and offer them suitable seats. They are Priya, Poshi, Veera, Aparajita, Jaya, Vijay, Muktira, Sadasivya, Mamamayi, and Savato Mukhi. O beautifully decorated Lord, who is respected by all the demigods, O enchanting life and soul of the universe, please come and take shelter of the longest sacred thread. O shelter of Lakshmi, controller of opulence, O personification of all knowledge and transcendental mellows, O fully detached Lord of the universe, please come and take shelter of the longest sacred thread. This is still very long, so anyway, at least we get some idea. All these rules for Chaturmasya are so long, so we're just in the first month. So just to give us some idea that in this Shravan month, this is one of the highlights. Following this Ekadasi Pavitra and this festival on this day, offering a Brahmin flag to Krishna. So we continue, we'll see. Maybe we continue tomorrow, or tomorrow we observe and glorify Shri Bhakta Goswami. Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai, Shri Chaturmasya Vrata ki Jai, Jai Guru Dev.
Okay.